good Lord, why are you thus alone? For what
offense?
For what offense have I this fortnight been a banished woman from my Harry's bed? Tell me, sweet Lord, what is it that takes from thee thy stomach pleasure and thy golden sleep? Why hast thou bent thine eyes upon the air and start so often when thou sittest alone? Why hast thou lost the fresh blood in thy cheeks and given my treasures and my rights of thee to think I'm musing and coarse melancholy? In thy fainter slumbers I by thee have watched and heard the murmur tales of iron wars. Spectres of menace stood about the steel, cry courage to the field! And thou hast sunk of sallies and retires of trenches of tents, of palisadoes, frontiers, parapets, of basilics, of cannon, of culvery, of prisoners' ransom, of a soldier's lane, and all the currents of a heady fight. The spirit within thee has been so at war, and thus has so bestirred in thy sleep, that beads of sweat have stood upon thy brow, like bubbles in a late disturbed stream, such as we see, like men restrain their breath, or some great sudden has. What portents are these? Some heavy business hath my Lord in hand, and I must know it, else he loves me not.
Okay, good try. So just start from the beginning and do it to me.
My good Lord, why are you thus alone? For what offense have I this fortnight been a banished woman from my Harry's bed?
I don't get that. Do that again. For what?
For what offense have I this fortnight been a banished woman from my Harry's bed? Oh my good Lord, why are you
I didn't say to go back.
Oh, continue. Tell me, sweet Lord, what is it that takes from thee thy stomach pleasure and thy golden sleep?
Stop. What is it that takes from... What is it?
What is it that takes from thee thy stomach pleasure and thy golden sleep? Why hast thou bent thine eyes upon the earth and start so often when thou sitst alone?
And start so often when thou sitst alone. Why dost thou bend thine eye upon the earth?
Why dost thou bend thine eyes upon the earth?
Say that again.
Why dost thou why dost thou bend?
Why dost thou bend
Why dost thou bend thine eyes upon the earth and start so often?
And start so often when thou sitst alone.
And start so often when thou sitst alone.
When thou sitst alone.
When thou sitst alone. Why hast thou lost the fresh blood in thy cheeks and given my treasures and my rights of thee to think I musing and coarse melancholy?
Melancholy.
Melancholy.
Melancholy makes no sense. Melancholy.
Melancholy.
Right. Do that phrase again, please.
The whole thing?
That phrase where you use the word melancholy.
Why hast thou lost the fresh blood in thy cheeks and given my treasures and my rights of thee to think I musing and coarse melancholy? In thy faintest slumbers I by thee have watched and heard the murmur tales of iron wars.
And heard thee murmur tales of iron wars.
And heard the murmur
And
tales.
heard thee murmur tales of iron wars.
And heard the murmur.
And heard thee
and heard thee murmur tales of iron wars. Speak terms of manage to the bounding.
Speak terms of manage to thy bounding steed.
Speak terms of
Speak terms.
Speak terms.
Terms.
Terms. Speak terms of manage to the bounding steed. Cried courage.
Don't rush. Speak terms of manage to thy bounding steed.
Speak terms of manage to thy bounding steed. Cry courage to the field.
Cry courage to the field.
Cry courage to the field. And thou hast talked of sallies and retires.
And thou
hast
talked of sallies.
And thou hast talked of sallies and retires of trenchers.
Of sallies and retires, of trenches, tents. Each image has to be clear. And thou
hast talked of sallies.
And thou, you have trouble with T. And thou hast talked.
And thou hast thought.
Talked.
Taught.
Talked.
Talk.
Talked.
I don't.
Talked. Talked.
Taught.
Did you ever talk to anyone?
Talked.
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 And thou hast talked of sallies.
And thou hast talked of sallies and retires, of trenches, of fence, of palisadoes, frontiers, parapets, of basilicks, of cannon, of soldiers' lanes, culverins, and
of cannon, culverin,
of soldiers' lane, and all
of soldiers slain,
and all the currents of a heady fight. Thy spirit within thee.
Thy spirit
within thee has been so at war, and thou hast so bestirred in thy
bestirred.
And thou hast so bestirred in thy sleep that beads of sweat has stood upon thy brow like bubbles in a late disturbed stream. And in thy face strange motions have appeared. And in thy face strange motions have appeared, such as we see when men restrain their
Not main, men.
Such as we see when men restrain their breath. Oh, some great sudden hest. Oh, what portents are these?
On some great sudden hest, stop. On some great sudden hest, stop. Then, oh, what portents are these? Such as we
see when men restrain their breath. Oh, some great sudden hest.
Stop. Then.
Oh, what portents are these? Some heavy business had my lord in hand, and I must know it, else he loves me not.
Not bad.